This audiobook unveils the timeless secret that your deepest assumptions mold your existence. What you quietly affirm in the hidden sanctuary of your thoughts must emerge in your everyday life. Pay attention, and you'll reclaim the ancient force that's eternally yours, the law of assumption. Introduction. The insights you're about to embrace have been safeguarded by visionaries who grasped its revolutionary might. Sages who realized that genuine strength lies not in the outer realm, but in the holy sanctuary of your own awareness. The law of assumption endures as one of the cosmos's core truths, as reliable as the dawn's arrival, and as instinctive as the shifting tides. This unchanging principle declares that your external life is merely an echo, a precise replica of your internal certainties. What you accept as fact in the core of your essence must by cosmic order appear in your tangible world. You've navigated existence assuming that events dictate your mindset, that outside factors control your inner world. But this view reverses the real sequence of manifestation. Your assumptions, those profound, steadfast convictions about your identity and your role in the cosmos, are the origins from which your reality sprouts. This goes beyond simple optimism or empty chance. The law of assumption rises above such superficial methods. It urges you to inhabit the condition of your aspirations' completion, to adopt the awareness of already possessing what you yearn for. When you converse inwardly as someone who has already attained, when you traverse your routine, bearing the sensation of your desire achieved, the cosmos must reorganize to align with your internal truth. As you explore these lessons, you'll uncover that this ability has forever dwelled inside you, akin to an overlooked legacy. It has bided its time for your recognition. The portals to this insight now await your entry, granting access to a realm where your ideas and assumptions weave the texture of your journey. This awareness frees via comprehension, not intricate ceremonies. Like any innate law, the law of assumption functions with assurance. It merely demands your deliberate involvement. Part 1. Awakening the Inner Architect. Chapter 1. The Law That Endured Through Time. In the mist-shrouded archives of a forgotten library, a curious scholar unearthed a faded manuscript that would disclose one of life's profound enigmas. As her steady hands unfolded the aged pages, intricate runes glowed under the dim lantern, unveiling phrases that had lingered eons to be rediscovered. As within, so without. What you deem true in your spirit forms the essence of your surroundings. You now linger where innumerable explorers have paused before, on the brink of realizing that your whole being stems from one source, your assumptions regarding yourself and the environment. This timeless law has murmured its wisdom across eras, awaiting those prepared to heed its call. The law of assumption shows no favoritism between deliberate and subconscious convictions. Like clay conforming to its mold, your reality adapts to your innermost beliefs. Many drift through days oblivious, their assumptions forged by happenstance instead of intent. Never grasping, they wield the ability to redefine their path via the unspoken mandates of their psyche. In a quaint hamlet nestled by a serene lake, lived Sophia, a retiree whose evenings echoed with isolation. One twilight, as she gazed at the water mirroring the fading stars, a spark ignited in her soul. Rather than longing for companionship, she started existing as if harmony had already embraced her. She arranged flowers not to mask voids, but as one who embraced life's subtle delights. She sketched in her notebook not from emptiness, but from serene contemplation. As days unfolded, Sophia observed gentle alterations in her sphere. Friends dropped by with shared stories and laughter. Butterflies fluttered near her porch at sunrise, their wings harmonizing with her inner calm. The atmosphere in her dwelling seemed to radiate with serenity. Sophia's evolution illuminates the core of this venerable law. Assumption is not mere contemplation, but a mode of existence. She didn't just ponder harmony. She assumed the consciousness of one immersed in it. To apply this tenet, seek quietude at first light or evening's hush. If inclined, ignite a lantern to forge a hallowed area. Jot down 3 assumptions steering your path. Reframe them into now statements of reality. Utter these affirmations each day, not as distant dreams, but as existing truths vibrating within. Chapter 2. You are constantly manifesting. In an ornate study where echoes of wisdom hovered, young Elias felt compelled toward a velvet-bound volume that appeared to throb with vitality. As he revealed its time-worn sections, letters formed before him, not inscribed by human quill, but arising in tune with the notions streaming through his intellect. This hallowed instant discloses a reality you've innately sensed, but may be overlooked. Every instant of your being is directed by the identical force that summoned those enchanted scripts. You are already employing the law of assumption, though its perpetual function may escape your notice. Each subtle hesitation, each flash of assurance, each notion you harbor about your essence, crafts the mosaic of your encounters with exactitude. The cosmos doesn't select which assumptions to realize. It mirrors them all with flawless accuracy. Attend to the internal monologue coursing through your thoughts. These aren't trivial musings, but mandates, each igniting energies that will materialize in the material plane. When you utter inwardly, "I always run out of moments," the cosmos arranges to confirm this. When you trust opportunities arrive effortlessly to me, this likewise turns factual. In a vibrant clinic hallway, Nora, a committed healer, endured her shifts under a veil of self-imposed gloom. Typical misfortune, she'd breathe when a door shut just out of reach. "Why me again?" she'd grumble amid delays. Day by day, her phrases proved prescient, not due to destiny's mark, but her own imprint. Her narrative evolved only upon realizing her ongoing tale of adversity was materializing with the exactness of innate law. This insight arrives not to weigh you with remorse, but to rouse you to your celestial authority. Every assumption, whether uplifting or restrictive, emerges with identical simplicity. The law doesn't evaluate your assumptions, it merely enacts them. Grasp your ledger and etch the expressions that frequently pass your tongue and resound in your head. What narratives do you weave about wealth, affection, achievement, and your position in existence? Heed meticulously to the murmurs of your inner dialogue, for they unveil the design of your present reality. Pick 3 of these tales that have curbed your grandeur's display. Next to each, inscribe a fresh assumption, not as aspiration, but as settled truth. Allow these novel proclamations to arise not from urgency, but from the tranquil surety of one who recognizes their authentic self. Voice these new realities daily, not as proofs to be tested, but as acknowledged existences. Recall you aren't forging something novel, but awakening to your eternal divine birthright of plenitude and elegance. Chapter 3. The Whisper Within the Veil. In the tranquility of his forest cabin, Theodore dwelled in seclusion, yet companionship was ever present. As he pursued his daily tasks, murmurs floated through his awareness, faint initially, then clarifying. "The winds will calm soon." He'd ponder, and indeed breezes softened. Visitors may arrive unannounced. His mind would hint, and footsteps approached his threshold. What sparked as intrigue morphed into insight. As he discerned, these murmurs weren't omens from afar, but his own reflections returning as tangible outcomes. You likewise partake in this divine exchange, every heartbeat of your life. Your inner conversation, that unending flow of ideas and assumptions you nurture inside, serves as the pattern from which your external domain is forged. The cosmos heeds not your yearnings or expectations, but the serene conviction of your inner speech. When you proclaim "I am," whether in notion or hush, you dispatch an order to the core of being. These internal affirmations aren't simple echoes of your reality. They are its architects. Each "I am" echoes across creation's halls, assembling the elements needed to actualize itself. In a cozy atelier scented with fresh pigments, Lucas painted canvases with deft strokes while his thoughts painted barriers. "Struggles define my path," he'd muse as he blended hues. "My art remains unseen." He'd exhale while layering details. But upon embracing the venerable insight of inner dialogue, he shifted his internal words. "My vision attracts admirers of depth," he'd affirm during sketches. "Prosperity rewards my passion for expression," he'd declare amid inspirations. Soon his once silent space buzzed with inquiries, his works cherished by discerning eyes. Your inner dialogue isn't haphazard noise. It's the manuscript your world dutifully enacts. As Lucas learned, altering the internal exchange compels external shifts to align. For the coming days, serve as the vigilant sentinel of your inner realm. Observe each notion traversing your mind, particularly those defining your identity and possibilities. Upon detecting dialogue clashing with your envisioned reality, halt. Substitute these instantly with phrases matching your loftiest dream. This isn't superficial positivity. It's the mindful application of cosmic law. Select each thought with the precision you'd apply to choosing blooms for a bouquet, aware that every inner utterance will yield results in due time. Chapter 4. Faith is the root of emergence. In a remote meadow where soil lay so arid that roots shunned it, Elias nurtured a plot deemed hopeless. Yet daily at dawn, he knelt by his selected ground, sowing seeds into the cracked earth and addressing them as if verdant fields already thrived. You see, Elias comprehended what eludes many across lifetimes. Faith seeks no approval from present conditions to bring forth its verity. While skeptics derided his devotion to apparent desolation, he persisted in his routine, conversing with his meadow as though it flourished abundantly. Through the echoes of timeless insight, you now meet this enduring truth. Your assumptions, when fueled by resolute faith, demand no outer confirmation to materialize. Just as Elias's harvests defied barren land, your profoundest convictions will thrive irrespective of current appearances. The might of assumption surpasses material rules, since it functions in the domain of unadulterated genesis. When you embed a conviction in your awareness's terrain and foster it with utter certainty, you launch a sequence as organic as seasonal turns. This is the esoteric art of sensing it authentic, where your internal conviction outweighs any contrary proof. Reflect on Isabella, who graced modest galleries for years. While peers viewed an elder artist beyond peak, Isabella embraced an alternate verity. Each evening in her simple loft, she sensed the essence of artistic wholeness in her spirit. She didn't pursue acclaim or accolades, but embodied the assurance of pure creative flow. As seasons passed, her exhibitions gained a profundity, surpassing conventional triumph, resonating with viewers in manners her earlier self couldn't envision. Your assumptions, like kernels in nurturing ground, require solely your enduring faith to prosper. The external may offer contradictions to your selected truth, but these are just remnants of prior convictions fading. Your duty isn't to persuade others or even yourself. It's to assume the feeling of your desire fulfilled until it stands as your sole reality. Ancient rite of faith ignition. Choose one assumption embodying your profoundest longing. Inscribe it boldly on vellum or sheet. Daily at dawn or dusk, voice these terms aloud with the conviction of one who owns their truth. Then in utter quietude, immerse in the sensation of this reality, not as forthcoming promise, but as immediate fact. Permit this sensation to infuse your every fiber until the divide between assumption and reality vanishes. Chapter 5. Feeling is the spark. In the core of a historic village where stone paths twisted like vines across ages, Lorenzo forged lanterns in his humble forge. Daily he heated metal and shaped forms, but he observed something remarkable. The glow from his lanterns mirrored the core of his emotions during crafting. When his spirit overflowed with delight, the lantern emitted a soft amber radiance that drew stars closer. When anxiety shadowed his thoughts, the lights dimmed faintly, echoing his internal condition. Through this revelation, Lorenzo disclosed one of the cosmos's mightiest mysteries. Feeling is the energy that converts notion into existence. You must grasp that assumption by itself is merely a kernel. It is feeling that animates it. Your ideas, when saturated with authentic emotion, turn into vibrant powers that sculpt your being's fabric. Like Lorenzo's lanterns, your assumptions shine with the vitality you instill. Envision your aspired reality as a vessel launching. Your assumption is the craft, but your emotion is the breeze swelling its sails. Absent this essential force, even the finest vessel lingers idle in the bay of unrealized visions. Maria, a navigator of southern oceans, grasped this during stormy veils. Standard tools betrayed her, but she found an internal guide responsive to her emotional assurance. When dread seized her, her craft wandered lost. But when she permitted the utter knowing of secure voyage, the mists parted as if led by invisible grace. Just as Maria mastered trusting her emotional navigation, you too must refine the skill of emotional command. The cosmos reacts not to your utterances, but to your being's emotional resonance. When you harmonize your emotions with your sought state, You forge a drawing force that pulls your assumptions into form. Now partake in the hallowed art of emotional transmutation. Seek a serene nook and evoke an instance of sheer bliss, maybe a victory, a tranquil dawn, or a clasp that warms your core. Let this recollection envelop you wholly. Sense how this bliss echoes in your form. Note where it shines brightest inside. This is your emotional mooring. With this sensation vibrant in your essence, softly present your selected assumption. Allow the bliss to permeate each term of your new truth. If you crave prosperity, sense the embrace of wealth as if it already holds you. If you pursue connection, let your core swell with the sensation of profound value. Maintain this blended state of emotion and assumption for minutes, permitting them to fuse into one potent energy. Chapter 6. The Grand Reflection. In a bazaar enduring since antiquity, Theo positioned his reflections with meticulous attention. Each dawn he buffed the plains until they sparkled like calm lakes. Yet over time he noted something wondrous. The images in his reflections displayed not only the bodily shape of gazers, but the core of their self-beliefs. A prosperous trader secretly deeming himself undeserving beheld rags. A modest artisan knowing her worth saw herself adorned in splendor. Through these reflections, Theo beheld the deep truth. Sages have echoed eternally. The world mirrors precisely what you nurture within. You exist in a cosmos functioning as a vast reflection, replying with exact precision to your deepest assumptions. When you journey life, trusting in scarcity, reality's reflection presents proof of dearth. When you bear an unshakable knowing of plenitude, the identical reflection discloses boundless chance. This reflective essence of being clarifies why two individuals can confront the same scenario, yet encounter divergent results. It's not the outer occurrence that shapes your journey, but the internal assumption you contribute. In a community famed for rigid customs and distant bonds, Clara resided, traversing lanes, meeting frowns with frowns until she uncovered the reflection tenet. Realizing her world echoed her assumptions, she started peering beyond surfaces. Where she once presumed antagonism, she now presumed kindness awaiting discovery. Slowly, as if enchanted, the same residence warmed. Cordial welcomes supplanted aloof glances and generosity surged where reproach once dominated. Clara's tale shows that shifting your inner assumption forces life's reflection to adjust accordingly. This isn't fanciful hope. It's the workings of an unalterable law. Hallowed right. Locate a peaceful spot for contemplation. With quill and parchment, record a repeating motif in your existence in bonds, vocation, or routine meetings. Examine these cycles to reveal the underlying assumption drawing them. Forge a new assumption aligning with your aspired reality, rendering it detailed and affirmative. Each morn voice it to your image, sensing its truth profoundly. Know that as your internal sight evolves, life will echo this fresh truth per cosmic decree. Chapter 7. The Assumption That Alters. In a modest dwelling on an eternal hamlet's fringe, Miriam exercised her restorative gifts not with elixirs or salves, but with pure assumption's might. As inquirers approached with afflictions, she looked beyond ailments to their innate completeness. In her aura, they changed not via outer cures, but through her steadfast assumption of their ideal wellness. You, like Miriam, hold this identical altering force. When you assume a truth about yourself or another, you activate a potency surpassing any material aid. The cosmos responds not to hopes or wishes, but to certainties you hold. Most expend lifetimes bargaining with uncertainty, striving to surmount conditions through ceaseless toil. Yet authentic alteration happens not via striving, but via being. When you cease battling what exists, and merely assume what will be, the cosmos aligns to realize it. In another hamlet's shadowed alleys lived Elena, a soul acquainted with solitude for decades. Unlike those chasing affection via endless quests, Elena unearthed a deeper verity. One dawn, she commenced living as if she were already deserving of affection's hold. She halted, doubting her merit, ended proving efforts, and existed from the assumption of being profoundly cherished. As naturally as light follows shadow, affection arrived not through frantic pursuit or schemed designs, but via the attracting force of her assumed truth. Her narrative discloses that what you pursue seeks you, but it locates you only when you assume it's already possessed. You needn't await outer endorsement to claim your selected self. The capacity to reshape reality resides not in swaying others, but in convincing your core. When you genuinely assume a new truth about yourself, the outer has no option but to mirror this internal knowing. Hallow it right. Each sunrise position before a reflection, when reality yields easiest. Encounter your gaze. They disclose your soul's truth past facade. Proclaim yourself aloud as fact, not desire. Let your tone bear utter certainty. For this is no simple affirmation but a ceremony of emergence. Sustain your gaze as each term penetrates beyond doubt into your essence. Chapter 8, Hallowed Vision. In a sun-dappled workshop atop curving avenues, Beatrice poised before her loom shuttle ready. With each weave she crafted not just patterns, but vibrant vignettes from her aspirations' depths. As moons waxed, she perceived a strange occurrence. Her surroundings started echoing her weaves with striking accuracy. You too possess this inventive force. Your vision isn't a zone of frivolous whims, but the divine forge where reality first takes shape. What you envision with vivid clarity and emotional depth becomes the model for your morrow. The cosmos discerns no difference between physical sight and mental perception. It answers both with equal exactness. Across ages, masters have imparted that vision is creation's initial step. When you step into your mind's arena and enact a scenario with full sensory immersion, you're not fantasizing, you're originating. The secret rests not in transient reveries but in deliberate, sustained vision blended with the sensation of current reality. In a serene wellness haven, Sophia confronted odds labeled unattainable. Instead of yielding to verdicts, she initiated another therapy. Daily she shut her eyes and sensed herself dancing not as future wish, but present encounter. In her psyche, she felt the grace of each motion, the flow of her limbs, the cadence of fluid steps. She dwelled in this internal reality so fully that her form responded to these cerebral directives. Your vision bridges longing and realization. When you access your inner domain intentionally, involving all senses in your desired experience, you start a creation chain that must manifest outwardly. This isn't hopeful fancy but cosmic law's use. The right of inventive envisioning. Seek a secluded haven. Seal your lids and picture your aim. Engage every sense, behold. Shades hear tones, touch surfaces. For a fresh abode, wander rooms mentally. For vitality, sense energy's pulse. Render your envisioning lively and authentic. Dedicate 5 minutes daily, as committed as a craftsman to their trade. Your concentrated vision sketches your forthcoming reality. Chapter 9. The internal decree is mandate. In the chambers of a venerable academy, Clara unearthed a truth forever shifting her view of potential. Each dawn, as she regarded her pupils, she saw how they embodied exactly what she harbored in her heart about them. Those she inwardly trusted to thrive did. Those she subtly questioned faltered, though no verbal hint escaped. You wield this creative energy every instant through your inner speech. The terms you murmur mentally aren't mere ideas. They're commands shaping your reality's substance. When you declare inwardly, "I am weary," this recurs eternally, or "success eludes me," you're not depicting, you're ordaining. Your inner dialogue lays the base on which life builds. Each silent assertion bears law's weight, arranging events to match its essence. The cosmos judges not if declarations aid or impede. It manifests them with perfect loyalty. Victor, a trader long plagued by frailty and unsatisfying labor, grasped this via necessity. After eons of inner rebuke and doubt, he vowed no more self-opposition, even in mind's privacy. With vigilance, he swapped each defeating thought for strength's proclamation. "I am complete," he'd affirm silently. "I merit brilliance. My efforts yield worth." Within moons, his form-fortified paths to progress emerged, and subtle poise arose that drew notice. Victor hadn't altered conditions directly. He'd revised the inner mandate governing them. Your inner speech isn't life's commentary. It's the matter-forming experiences. Every hushed word is a kernel sown in universal awareness's fertile bed. Select these with a master cultivator's care, for they'll grow into your life's garden. The divine edict right: acquire a tome solely for daily proclamations. Each morn inscribe 3 truth statements about self and path present tense as done. Voice them with one knowing words bear law's force. Let your tone echo with certainty that inner declarations must outer manifest. Revisit throughout, especially when old thoughts surface. This isn't repetition. It's new mandates establishment in your mind's domain. Chapter 10. From Longing to Existence. In a hamlet amid timeless ridges, Adrian rested at his carved oak desk, threading quill with elegant poise. Yet this unassuming scribe held insight beyond his art. As he penned intricate scrolls, he infused something priceless, his deepest longings into reality's weave. You must comprehend every longing in your heart acts as celestial guide directing to your fated course. These yearnings aren't capricious or taunting. They're holy signals from the cosmos indicating what's yours in unseen spheres. When Adrian labored, he did more than script texts. With each flourish, he embodied the acclaim and fulfillment he craved. He sensed prosperity's weight in his grasp, envisioned himself in a grand archive, felt the thrill of crafting wisdom for appreciative minds. He existed in the completion, letting assumption span dream to manifestation. Your longings hold their fulfillment's kernels. The cosmos implants no yearning without provision for attainment. Via assumption's might, you transmute these kernels into thriving realities. Beatrice, whose records once tallied only deficits, uncovered this eternal truth. Instead of lingering in toil's strain, she assumed the prosperous trader's state she desired. She strode differently, conversed differently, decided from plenitude's awareness, not want. She didn't hope for wealth, she existed from its accomplishment. As dawn succeeds night, her outer shifted. Fresh chances surfaced, clear choices emerged, her trade bloomed. Yet true change occurred in consciousness. Assuming fulfilled longing, let cosmos orchestrate ideal terms. You can wield this holy might via the venerable rite known as resting in the state. As you recline nightly, immerse wholly in your fulfilled longings vignette. Sense achievement's contentment, attainment's delight, the serenity of knowing desire done. Slumber in this awareness, letting sensations embed in subconscious. This aligns whole being with sought experience. As you rest in fulfilled desire, you sow potent kernels in fertile ground which must grow per cosmic law. Like a sage planter knowing each kernel bears full plant's blueprint, you nurture desire's kernels in subconscious's rich earth. The divine forces turning tiny kernel to grand tree are identical principles shaping your implanted vision to physical. Trust this, for it works with unfailing exactness as all cosmic laws. Part 2. Harmonizing with the Unseen Verity. Chapter 11. Utter as if it exists. In the silent aisles of a venerable repository, Lydia found a silk-bound relic unlike others. As her touch grazed its aged cover, the leaves began murmuring her concealed notions. Yet this enchanted relic altered contents only when she voiced with resolute assurance. You see, the cosmos answers not hollow yearnings or vacant terms, but proclamations issued with total conviction. When you utter with the command of one whose word mandates reality's fabric must yield to your truth, your voice bears creative might, echoing eternity's halls. Each term sown is a kernel in infinite potential's bed, but it needs fitting nurture to thrive. Terms voiced in doubt stay latent. Those steeped in certainty flourish into manifestation. Consider Julian, whose tiny forge hovered near closure. Each dawn he faced his anvil and declared with utter conviction, "My forge thrives. Patrons seek my skill. Triumph streams naturally." He didn't murmur as hopeful pleas, but proclaimed as established facts. Initially, no change appeared yet. Julian endured, permitting no opposition to his voiced truth. Gradually, as awakening to his bid conditions transformed, a noble discovered his craft. Skill's fame spread. Soon his empty forge echoed with commissions, ledgers brimming with seekers of his mastery. The power resided not in terms, but the certainty voicing them. He aligned speech with desired assumption, treating not as future option, but present fact. To harness this divine might, partake in verbal scripting's rite. Reserve a tranquil instant daily to voice aloud a minute's proclamation of your meant life. Stand before reflection or calm haven with unyielding conviction. Depict reality as if all aims already manifest. Speak with total certainty as affirming undeniable truth. Don't hope or wish. Bear witness to existing. Since words mold reality, let this verity resonate through your being, altering awareness. You're not outlining possibilities, but commanding existence via speech. Like venerable masters, employ your voice as celestial instrument, knowing each term sows manifestations kernels, linking unseen and seen. Chapter 12. Existing as if completed. In a hamlet amid undulating fields, there dwelled a soul named Helena, whose spirit stayed firm in devotion. Each twilight, as sun cast elongated shades over her humble abode, she meticulously prepared 2 settings at her feast board. The vacant seat opposite wasn't loss's emblem, but presence's assumption. You nurture within the identical force guiding Helena's steadfast trust. The craft of existing from completion isn't pretense. It's spiritual knowing's pinnacle. When you assume your wish's fulfilled state, you transcend chronology, entering where desire already thrives. Nightly Helena ignited 2 flames, portioned 2 servings, and conversed gently as if her cherished occupied the seat. She acted not from despair or void, but from composed certainty that love's wholeness was accomplished. When tidings came of her kin's endurance in a far sanctuary, witnesses beheld assumption's law in purest form. In an eternal city's hallowed forges, a novice named Theo bore similar wisdom. Though his grasp faltered with novelty, he commenced bearing himself with a master's serene honor. He refined his stance, selected terms with deliberation, wielded instruments with veneration of attained expertise. Fellow novices murmured at his shift, yet Theo persisted, admitting no uncertainty to his assumption. He donned finest garb affordable, upheld his station with utmost care, spoke with seasoned insight. When guild elders convened to appoint a new master, they gravitated to Theo's aura. The role was his as destined eternally. These tales unveil a truth ancient as awareness. Assumption bows not to outer proof. It generates proof. By existing as if desire fulfilled, you synchronize creation's forces with chosen end. Your right now beckons. Select one life facet and commence existing as if desired result achieved. Note daily minutiae, differing if wish realized. How would you stride? What utter which patterns flow naturally from this fresh being? Adjust details with unwavering certainty, guiding Helena and Theo. Let action stem from knowledge that sought is possessed. Chapter 13. Releasing the world's echo. In a weathered loft under dust veils and overlooked relics, Marcus unearthed an aged vellum tome. Its leaves held not anticipated woes his forebears often voiced, but luminous affirmations of plenitude. I am graced infinitely, riches stream naturally, delight is my heritage. You too bear echoes of predecessors, their apprehensions, constraints, life's boundary assumptions. These inherited convictions mold your reality with quiet tenacity, yet they needn't dictate your horizon. The cosmos functions via eternal laws transcending lineage tales and societal molds. Ancestors' trials were genuine, but their life assumptions needn't bind you. Just as Marcus's find revealed abundance's concealed heritage beneath perceived scarcity generations, you hold power to rewrite spiritual legacy. Ingrid, offspring of a austere mentor, matured amid lectures of inadequacy and celestial retribution. Weakly she imbibed limits, fault, suffering's necessity for redemption. Yet inwardly a soft voice hinted gentler truth. As Ingrid queried these bequeathed convictions, she found spirituality as joy's trail, not dread. These narratives mirror your awaiting voyage. Assumptions handed via blood or society were never yours. Their loaned attires ill-fitting your expanding awareness. To alter these legacies, commence scrutinizing heart-heavy beliefs. Inscribe without censure but compassion for bearers' eras. Then with higher self's insight craft aligning assumptions of abundance's truth. Venerable right of conviction. Freedom. Allocate 5 serene instants. On fresh leaf list 5 restricting convictions from kin, culture, or society. Beside each inscribe freeing new assumption. Voice these truths mournly, tone bearing authority of self-chosen spiritual trail. Sense old weights dissolving as you claim defining abundance's bond. Recall inherited limit chains hold sway only via consent. You're unbound by past fears, nor obligated to bear ancestral doubts. Each query of handed beliefs loosens grasp on spirit. Releasing old assumptions frees self and forges new paths for descendants. Chapter 14. Internal exchanges. External changes. In a township where murmurs drifted like harvest winds, Vivian was renowned for her keen observations and ceaseless remarks on others' plights. Each dawn she perched by her pane, eyeing passers-by, mind-spinning judgment webs and critique. Yet one morn, glimpsing her image in that pane, she caught her inner voice's acrimony, realizing it addressed herself foremost. You must grasp your inner dialogue forms not just perception, but reality's texture. The cosmos responds not to words solely, but carried energy, evoked feelings, represented assumptions. When Vivian began murmuring self-kindness, I merit affection. I behold splendor in all serenity courses me. She noted subtle shift. World edges softened. Once hurried neighbors paused to greet. Connection chances bloomed as flowers to sun. Your inner conversation is existence's mightiest force, running ceaselessly like stream, carving stone, etching experience paths. Every notion a kernel, every assumption awaiting bloom's garden. Oliver, whose deft fingers mended village mechanisms, bore different fractured gear. Silent rift with sibling. Unvoiced terms created abyss deeper than eras. Yet in workshop, amid gentle clicks, he started envisioning fresh exchanges. Sibling, I comprehend now, he'd utter to void. Our tie surpasses variances. Daily he rewrote tale mentally, swapping grievances for insight, bitter recalls for empathy. Within moons, missive arrived, siblings' script bridging years with terms echoing Oliver's altered inner dialogue. This verity spans every bond mind's secret chamber, conversations, blueprint, outer experiences. Alter inner dialogue. Observe external reshape to match new assumption. Write. Choose one bond needing mend. Find undisturbed haven, seal lids. Commence new inner conversation with person. Speak mentally with sought warmth, understanding. Sense harmony's reality. Daily. For 7, spend 5 minutes in sacred dialogue, assuming perfect insight and respect's presence. Let inner voice bridge reconciliation. Chapter 15. Self-concept is fate. In a hamlet where critiques hung dense as dawn fog, Lydia endured others' harsh murmurs. Each morn, she rushed past displays, evading her image as if venomous. Yet, within lurked awaiting truth, radiance needing acknowledgement to beam. You must comprehend, self-concept isn't thought collection. It's foundation building life. Every encounter, bond, chance flows from identity's holy blueprint. When Lydia began viewing self as luminous, not with vacant terms or frantic hope, she claimed truth in being's depths, saturating cells till natural. Soon, others lingered in her aura, drawn to inexplicable glow. Transformation needed no outer shift. She aligned with innate divine image. Your self-concept is master key unlocking doors. It's not wished but known self-shaping world. Cosmos responds not to desires but deepest self-assumptions. Hugo, whose experiments collected dust in confined space, bore failure's mantle like burdensome cloak. Yet one dawn he discarded borrowed self. Instead of past lens, he embodied visionary essence. Moved differently, spoke differently, thought differently. Not hoping success but carrying in veins. Breakthrough emerged not from frantic toil but new true nature alignment. Self-concept reset. Now write detailed portrait of higher self, who at most realized how walk, speaks, thinks, engages this version. For next 48 hours live from elevated self-concept. Let actions, words, thoughts flow from truth. Not pretending. Remembering true self. This isn't imaginative exercise but return to authentic nature. Divine truth beneath doubt layers. World must reflect inner held identity per unchanging consciousness law manifest. As align with higher watch reality. Reshape to match. Expanded awareness. Transforming circumstances. Opportunities mirroring. Outer conforms to deepest self-beliefs per sacred consciousness creation pact. Chapter 16. The Unseen's Gaze. In a lofty hamlet, Beatrice resided in endless shadow, yet perceived clearer than sighted. Though eyes knew no light, inner sight lit unseen trails. Each dawn she'd rest in her grove, depicting future happenings with such detail neighbors murmured of her endowment. You must grasp true sight stems not from bodily eyes, but inner eternal lamp. Cosmos needs no outer proof for desires. Responds to inner knowing's steadfast light. Before barred portal, physical eyes show obstacles. Inner vision reveals beyond's path. This holy truth-guided mystic's eternally evidence trails faith as dawn trails night. Leopold knew this unnamed principle. In humble quarters amid unprinted tomes, he existed as if words touched multitudes. Wrote not hoping discovery, but as voice awakening realms. Each morn he positioned at desk with beloved author's certainty, sensing published works heft pre-form. Assumption wasn't fanciful, knowing so profound transformed essence. When book reached readers, they sensed rediscovering known. Success seemed abrupt worldly, but completed long and invisible where creation starts. Invisible realm isn't void, fertile bed birthing all manifestation, as kernel holds oak's full pattern. Inner vision clasps desire's complete blueprint. Task not force growth, but nurture with unyielding faith. Candle contemplation. Ignite single flame in silent chamber, seal eyes. In holy shadow behold desire with inner eye, not distant hope, but present reality. Sense texture, weight, certainty. Then with knowing authority declare, I behold it, I sense it, it exists. Let words emerge not as cosmos plea, but recognition of pure potential's existence. For in being's depths where true vision dwells, desire fulfills. Chapter 17. Rewriting the narrative. In a thriving metropolis's heart, Beatrice rested at her oak station, nightly encircled by designs and cloth fragments. But not dresses transformed lives. Stories she rewrote in bound ledger. You hold might greater than accepting past sacred capacity to reshape past's emotional stamp. As artist overpaints canvas, consciousness can revise unserving memories. Past lingers now only as mind's echo, self-told tale. Alter tale, change vibration carrying to present. This isn't denial. Spiritual alchemy, transmuting base to precious. Via revision's venerable rite, liberate from seeming chains, embracing what might have been, thus what is. Each hurtful memory bears transformation's kernel, awaiting new insights bloom. Hugo found this in pre-dawn quiet. Each morn he'd seal eyes, revisit youth abode where harsh terms, cold voids stood. Placed warm clasps, soft counsel. Daily past's burden lightened till returning voyager found heart's peace. Cosmos knows no variance between physical happening and deeply impressed consciousness. Revising memory isn't pretense. Engaging creation force, shaping worlds. Holy rite of memory shift. Select resonating painful memory. Sit calmly. Breathe deep. Enter moment fully. As awareness stirs, re-envision unfolding. Repaint seen words, gestures transformed by insight. Experience needed emotions, terms acceptance. Revisit revised daily, week-long, absorbing details till new version your truth. Through right witness consciousness, healing wounds, shadowing light. Chapter 18. The Rite of Being. In a holy shrine's core. Lydia knelt before venerable sage, eyes tired from seeking decades, shoulders burdened by endless becoming. Sage uttered three shattering terms. Cease becoming, be. You've roamed distant collecting wisdom like gems, yet eternal instant holds deeper truth awaiting. Sought power ever resided within. Assumption's law requests not endless striving but courage embodying already are. Assume state, not gradually become, be now. This holy tenet operates not effort, but acceptance. Cosmos responds not journey toward, but moment's embodiment. You either are or feign. Life reflects choice. Observe how Beatrice grasped after chasing triumph via ceaseless deeds. One morn she moved daily as desires fulfilled. Stopped becoming prosperous, walked prosperous. Ceased attempting assurance, was assured. Within weeks chances appeared, doors yielded, life rearranged round new being. Mirrors ageless truth sought, seeks you but can't while chased. Seeking implies absence. Instead, assume having received. Let breath, motion, thought flow, assumption. Being right. Rise, engage sacred. Being stroll next 15 minutes. Move space as ideal self. Sense breathing feet. Grounding shoulders. Resting eyes, meeting world. Speak if called, words from assumed state. Not rehearsal. Reality. Not practicing, become being true self. Let steps anchor truth deep. Needn't become. All sought resides consciousness's holy shrine. Need only acknowledge, embody existing. Like bloom not straining but unfolding per divine law. Assumption's power flows not effort but acceptance. Quiet knowing beyond doubt. Be still, know you are. Stillness holds profound completeness, recognition, wholeness, divine perfection awaiting acknowledgement. Chapter 19. The Rest of Assumption. In a flame-lit dwelling, Clara clasped granddaughter's palm, sharing generational truth. Once seed planted, trust growth. Daily unearthed to inspect, kills, nurtures, wish. You threshold sacred comprehension. Assumption's law needs not just deed, but holy repose. Voice desire, convictionally sense reality within. Divine sequence starts. Role shifts, creator to observer, actor to believer. This mirrors venerable Sabbath teaching, not mere rest day, but profound trust state. Declare assumption, seal faith. Further toil breeds resistance. Cosmos responds, not striving but knowing. In thriving bazaar, Theo merchants fret, kept sleepless nights. Daily coin recounts ledger revisions, endless morrow worries. Then, elder sage taught sacred repose art. Post-evening intentions. Theo learned, release trust, enter soul's Sabbath. Stopped compulsive checks, constant schemes. Surrender birthed miracle, trade bloomed unprecedented heart-filled peace. Tale reflects timeless, resist persists. Continue post done work, denies sought power. Assumption, conviction made, needs trust to bloom. Holy rite, candlelit proclamation. As twilight nears, find undisturbed sanctuary, veils thin between intent manifestation. Ignite single flame dance, reminding creation's eternal light burning all. Watch steady alive possibility as divine power moves you. Speak assumption. Calm authority sensing truth. Every cell, words bearing universal laws wait. Seal, it exists. Linger silent meditation minutes, resting complete trust, breathing declarations certainty. Flame reminds universe works behalf, motioning beyond mortal grasp forces. Your Sabbath instant sacred faith, pause manifestation seeds, rooting divine timing's fertile bed. Chapter 20. Each instant, a gateway. In concealed nook, ancient timekeeper's emporium, Sophia uncovered peculiar chronometer. Unlike marking hours, followed distinct cadence, hands shifting only seizing time. Chase settling eternal now. You must comprehend present instant soul PowerPoint. While mind roams past memories or future dreams, sacred now slips unused. Assumption's law functions only this instant, not distant morrow or regretted yesterday. Assume state, embodied current breath, heartbeat, step. Most days, lost mental drifts, assuming worry states tomorrow or yesterday guilt. Yet life's transform power this moment, only sacred portal, all manifestation passes. Each instant complete transformation, potential dormant, till claimed presence. Assumptions lived now, not planned later, remembered before. Cosmos responds, being eternal moment. In lush lowlands, Elias farmer rushed days, mind racing future yields. One morn, watching sun ascend fields, inner shift. Began revering each instant, sensing soil, fingers wind nuances. Growth, miracle present. Living now, deepened land, bond crops, abundant form, stronger quiet, joy infused days. Tale mirrors journey rush, reaching next, misses this one's power. Assumption lived, felt, known now. Not future achieve, but present embody truth. Present power right. Set 5-day alarms, spacing morn, eve divine. Now appointment reminders. Each rings pause, activity urgent seeming. Deep breath, declare unwavering certainty. This instant it real. Sense assumption, truth, instant filling being. Know now this now, all power resides. Let alarm sacred presence calls, aligning infinite power, existing only eternal now. As practice sense profound shift, fully claiming eternal now power. Part 3. Existing as assumed self. Chapter 21. Assume till you embody. In modest township lanes, Elias served as ledger keeper, tallying accounts dawnly. Yet within stirred knowing, destined guide. Without proclamation began bearing differently, shoulders aligned, voice, authoritative tones, eyes steady, responsibility, gaze. You see, assumption isn't fleeting guise, but being's transformation. Persistently embody state, ceases act, becomes nature. Elias didn't mimic guidance, assumed bones deep. Greeted folk genuine concern, spoke enhancements as motioning. Pre any selection town turned guidance. Assumption works consistent embodiment. Not enough occasional desired state visit. Dwell till permanent residence. New identity worn, second skin till soul. In esteemed arts hall, Beatrice positioned before canvas brushes, quivering pre-display. But day inner shift instead. Fear battle moved confidence eternal companion. Posture eased breathing deepened fingers keys. Natural grace. Didn't await readiness. Assumed mastery body followed. Each session performance maintained knowing. Soon hands assured seeming eternal art flowed practice plus unwavering artistic excellence assumption. Stories reveal persistent self-image power. Change not sporadic toil but sustained being. Assumption natural breathing constant heartbeat. Holy rite 7-day assumption. Choose embody identity. Next 7 days. Live completely chosen state. Voice authority movements. Nature thoughts. Truth. Align. Wake to sleep. Maintain without break. No character step out assumption holidays. 7 days let only reality. Chapter 22. The law flows via you. In pre-dawn hours, Sophia rested modest shed tools marked innovation. When extraordinary unfolded visions flickered mind not usual solutions but elevations seeming higher origin. You see assumption's law operates not will force, but divine intelligence alignment. Pathwalk understand no strain. Struggle make law work. Already flowing eternal stream. Roll step current. Quiet certainty. Sophia questioned not vision's doubt source. Allowed flow lifting instruments unseen guidance confidence. Assumption's law reveals powerfully surrendering control need. Not servant but divine force expressing being. Assume state understanding become pure channel expression. In close-knit enclave, Theo began simple truth plenitude natural state. Announced not convince others. Moved embodying quiet wealth. Garden overflowed table room more home warmth plenty center. Unfolded next law's true nature as Theo allowed plenitude flow touched surroundings. Neighbors shared freely communal gatherings. Common generosity spirit streets spread. Became vessel law blessed many. Truth before law asks not effort but allowance, not striving surrender. Assume state recognizing divine power channel manifestation unfolds grace, ease. Each rising sun pause speak reverence. I channel law flows me, assume done. Let invocation remind no force manipulate allow law express being. Dawn sacred moment worlds veil thin declaration bridges divine intent. Earthly manifestation. Sense words. Truth. Heart resonating sunrises effortless law. Works perfect grace. Daily practice aligns universal abundance. Natural flow. Transforming willing vessel all good passes. Chapter 23. The incarnate term. In Mountain Settlements Assembly, Elias addressed gathering final gathering. After decades divine truth preaching realized profound highest teaching wordless. You see assumption's law manifests purest silent embodiment. Align thought term deed. Perfect harmony. Create vibrational declarations surpassing sermon. Elias grasped quietly stowing formal garb walking community transformed. No longer spoke peace. Became peace. Ceased abundance preaching. Lived every gesture. Law response not self-say but are. As Elias moved quiet certainty surroundings shifted. Presence catalyst change. Without instruction, neighbors embraced higher being naturally. Truth before embodiment transformation's tongue. Energy speaks louder words. When truly assumed state radiates every cell. In thriving trade square, Sophia labored weaving station. Yet demeanor changed no longer. Hunched struggle bearing. Sat erect moved grace spoke quiet worth authority. Watch shift created world ripples patrons. New respect opportunities. Door found values met unquestioned. Hadn't altered work, changed presence. Assumption's law operates being's full spectrum. Posture, tone breath, subtle tongues assumptions express. Truly assume state body naturally aligns new truth. Day-long choose physical presence. Aspect embody highest assumption. Perhaps taller standing. Quiet authority speaking unhurried grace. Moving. Let new being remind system true are. Practice embodied assumption natural breathing. Not pretense performance. Allowing physical form align held truth within. Body becomes assumptions living in vocation universe language can't ignore. Select single embodied habit. Reflecting chosen stateroom entryway. Breath rhythm. Shoulders. Set. Let physical anchor remind day-long truth living into. Practice new being sacred, becoming ritual. Chapter 24, Attracting Self. In time's quiet nook where amber light sifted dusty panes lived timepiece artisan Theo. Small emporium gentle ticking filled held power beyond hours mechanics. Seeker's repairs lingered drawn inexplicable peace from presence. You see Theo uncovered aligned assumptions magnetic force. Never spoke inner serenity. Simply was serenity. Movement's breath silence sang tranquil mastery song. Soon visits not timepieces but transformative energy surrounding. Fully embody assumption create magnetic field drawing others influence. Not do, become. Cosmos responds not efforts but being state. In valley bustling city Lydia mother 3 labored cleanser. One morn polishing reflection wealthy abode caught image decided no longer see serving. See royalty serving realm. Shift. Subtle absolute moved quiet. Dignity spoke gentle command treated task. Royal duty. Assumed queen identity not outer adornments, but inner knowing. Watch followed employers consulted household choices. Children's conduct transformed new presence. Street strangers aside. Stepped sensing regal bearing. Assumption's law works magnetic tenet truly becomes seek needn't chase. Chases you. Aligned energy beacon reality answers. Holy right craft magnetic self-statement. True soul level R. Face reflection hold gaze declare I am highest self. Let truth infuse movements. Voice presence. Day long. Statement ring authentic now, not future wish. Watch body align. Elevated self shoulders back. Breath deep, gaze clear. Reflection reveals highest self physical manifesting. Sense words resonate. Being magnetic. Self guides actions ordinary moments. Sacred divine nature expressions. Chapter 25, Releasing Past's Husk. In softly lit chamber faded images dusty honors Sophia once arena's thunder stood still. Calloused hands known violence now clasped bound ledger. Golden honors walls no longer glory whispered. Echoed tale no longer hers. You within many self-versions each grand theater becoming part. Yet sacred instant release was embrace shall be. Sophia grasped gathering emblems clippings triumphs symbols no longer soul served. Pre-dawn carried past artifacts garden flamed. As substances ash turned Sophia quill lifted inscribed first melody. Moment wasn't becoming musician. Simply was. Assumption's law requires not new self-claim but old's graceful release. Energy can't two masters serve. Grip tight one hand, can't receive other. In Seaside Township, Theo wore mourner's shade 7 years. Grief identity familiar shadow mourn wrapped. But dawn watching sun waves color paint inner voice whispered, choose existence. Afternoon wardrobe opened touched untouched vibrant garbs long. Trembling removed shade final. Stepping spring hues dress joy stirred grief claimed places. Physical old symbols release opens new energy channels. Chosen assumption can't fully bloom rooted past identity's soil. Holy release right. Find undisturbed space center stillness. Ignite flame if wish sacred intent atmosphere. Quill, paper write letter. Leaving self-identity purpose served now released. Thank version protection wisdom pain even. Stepping stones moment transformation led. Acknowledge lessons bittersweet journey shaped. Loving compassion. Declare conscious old self. Release dissolution space. New assumption flourish makes. Letter complete, sacred release ceremony. Burn smoke ethers carry old identity. Or bury rich soil decompose nourish growth. Witness physical letting go. No new assumption. Deeper root consciousness fertile bed ready. Magnificent expression blossom. Chapter 26. Gracefully directing existence. In ancient metropolis's thriving bazaar, Elias' voice once outrang others. Stall exotic goods crowded sheer personality force. Yet thunderous quality value proclamations despite stores empty as words remained. You must comprehend universe responds not volume but vibration. Assumption's law works quiet inner knowing certainty not outer convincing desperate clamor. One dawn wears arranging silence elder sage paused stall. Verity. Sage whispered, needs no herald. Words settled Elias' heart fertile seeds. Forward spoke less meant more. Stopped worth announcing began assuming. Present still water became deep clear. Soon patrons drawn not calls but silent certainty's magnetic might. Assumption's law, greatest power, gentle authority wielded. Difference commanding sunrise, knowing will. One fears act, other faith's stance. In Township Edge Schoolhouse, Sophia Lesson's voice barely back row carried. Colleagues advised forceful control volume, strict order, but inner knew different way. Each morn pre-pupil's desk sat silently affirmed. Wisdom light channel, I presence growth inspires. Never voice raise demand attention, assumed influence natural flower assumes sunshine. Gradually, classroom transformed. Children leaned catch quiet terms. Atmosphere chaos calm. Shifted not external force, but unwavering inner assumption power. Your word power carries not volume but conviction. Speak knowing place, whisper mountains move. Universe needs and desires shout, embody quiet confidence. Holy right, choose manifest truth. Single intent seed, ready, nurture. Sun rises, world golden bathes, speak truth aloud, once calm authority. Each word unwavering certainty resonate. Dusk sky violet paints affirm again, declaration merge, peaceful day-night transition. Between sacred day bookends release truth. Heart, silence, trusting assumptions law work. Quiet knowledge. Conviction stillness being held carries more power. Thousand shouted invocations. Universe responds not voice volume but belief depth. Chapter 27. Existing from within outward. In bustling trade place, merchants' cries, buyers' barters, constant hum created. Elias sat worn loot. Commerce chaos swirled, untouched, frenzy remained. While others noise above heard fought, eyes closed, played heart-dwelling melody. You must comprehend outer world, always chaos offers opinions, demands. Yet assumption's law teaches reality springs, not external forces, but unwavering inner certainty held. Each day, Elias Place crowd took not competing noise, but allowing inner harmony flow. Soon, marketplace altered people, paused, gathered drawn, not volume but quiet presence, authority. Outer noise ceased not but power over chosen inner reality no longer held. Within you sovereign power, lies world shaped not circumstances clamor, but inner knowing steady pulse. In township outskirts, cottage Sophia lifelong, others expectations measured. After partner's departure, neighbors endless counsel widow behave attire exist how. Months conformed well-intent suggestions till morn mirror gazed remembered true self. Forward stopped outer world validation seeking. Wore soul-pleasing hues smiled heart joy felt moved life, inner light guided. Once unsolicited counsel offered now presence drawn wondering quiet emanation radiance. Your reality shaping power depends not external permission approval. Assumption's law operates heart's throne room alone reign sovereign experience. Holy right. Find undisturbed space. Hand heart place lids gently seal. Sense palm beneath warmth. Power center. This sacred creation begins space. Quiet authority speak world within begins me. Let truth being settle. Practice daily right dawn preferably world still inner voice clearest heard. Chapter 28. Wonders are assumed. In sun-baked dale hope withered crops like Theo Donley barren plots stood. Others land drought relentless abandoned soil prepared rains certain as though. You see discovered truth visible transcending nature responds not eyes see but heart certain knows. Assumption's law reveals miraculous called simply natural unwavering inner conviction response. Assume outcome. Same certainty. Sunrise assume universe no choice. Align knowledge. Mourn Theo tilled dusty planted parched seeds neighbors pity concern mixture watched. Yet moved calm one beyond apparent sees assurance. Worked fields spoke lush life already as though. Night clouds gathered dawn rain valley blessed months first. Your world bound not others call possible impossible. Merely unquestioned accepted assumptions. Truly miraculous occurs not hoping pleading but knowing. In care haven Elias bed lay doctors remain said, but mind began stride. Each morn eyes closed sensed feet floor touching limbs strong steady. Assumed movement sensation clarity. Body follow no choice had. While care's acceptance limits spoke Elias wholeness language only spoke. Sensed face sun garden walking as though assumed limb strength present reality not distant hope. Within weeks first steps taking soon corridors quiet dignity walking. This power now dwells you. Labeled impossible exists only accepted label. Moment new truth, unwavering certainty. Assume miraculous natural becomes. Impossible inevitable. Holy right miracle declaration silence sit now choose dismiss desire vast impossible. Clean page right. Miracle declaration already done what? Present tense. Right calm. Absolute knowing certainty. 1. Begin. Done it now reality walk where. Let words absolute knowing weight carry for knowing manifestation seed lies. Chapter 29. Eternally the solution. Winter depths. Sophia mirror before sat weary distant lands. Wisdom seeking decades. Mountains masters meet climbed oceans. Teachers find crossed fortunes. Key holders claimed spent. Yet morn own reflection gaze shifted something. You see greatest truth plain sight hides often remember always known what waiting. As Sophia eyes own looked heard not usual self-critique, but profound wisdom voice. Own voice ages authority speaking. Assumption's law purist reveals recognizing every master teaching transformation points power within back. Your assumptions shape not circumstances merely but being's essence. In remote hamlet, Elias maps scrolls wandered transformation's sacred shrine seeking. Each trail circles led exhausted confused till home returned. Own grove there, every question carried heart quiet answer found. What Elias discovered now comprehend must sought power never left. Flows thoughts through speaks words moves being. Every held assumption creates reality fabric ripples. Old mystics truth spoke not power seeker merely but power expressing human form. Assumptions not mere thoughts, waiting acknowledged divine mandates. Holy right, find distraction free, quiet instant. Right power declaration, sacred missive. Highest self, present self. Let always resided wisdom freely speak without doubt hesitation. Page pour deepest clarity moments known truths. Your inner voice centuries knowing holds expressed waiting through words. Sign declaration love reverence knowing truth voice comes not distant source but awakened heart own. Declaration testament becomes believed. Self be to where stand you where once two stood. Recognition humble. Chapter 30. The radiance you bear. Pre-dawn quiet hours. Elias lighthouse winding stairs climbed 40 years as had. But morn different beside young apprentice Sophia walked eyes wonder bright. You see shore ships guides flame mere fire. More light symbol within burns all awaken true power. Who? Assumption's law through discovered same sacred flame inner light world shapes knowing. Like Elias lighthouse awakened consciousness beacon stands others darkness wayfinding. As words these read understand student teachings more become. Held assumptions commanded reality embodied presence. Now ancient law power living testimony serve. In seaside hamlet, Theo wooden station sat needle thread fabric dancing as softly neighbor transformation about spoke. Teacher herself considered didn't. Shared simply inner dialogue changing life altered how. Yet quiet wisdom town spread morning light like others own power awakening. One surroundings began. Shift always lack spoke Fisher's kin abundance assuming started. Failure feared Baker mourn each mastercraft greeting. Without proclamation, Theo's living example consciousness revolution sparked. This deepest truth now embrace must assumption journey. Prepared not personal transformation just, but others path illuminating sacred role. Not preaching persuasion through but quiet one power walks authority through. Holy right moment. Take now share one truth story. Transformation assumptions law within awakened. Speak heart ready. Hear someone curiosity shown journey you're about, or deeper understanding. Yearning expressed. Like candle one another flame passing. Allow experience way light another soul journey. Share not pride superiority place from, but humble where stand, they where stood once to you that recognition. Let words lived experience, gentle authority carry vulnerability. Sharing key very be may unlocks another's awakening vague. This sharing ancient wisdom time through flow continues. Life after life touching transformative power. It's with illumination. Unbroken thread. Weaving seekers. Sages generations. Countless backstretches. Conclusion. You now clasp sacred key, not destination, but being way. Journey. Not new learning about, but soul always known remembering. Assumptions world create inner dialogue, divine command, being state, fate determines. Wisdom chapters these within not give mine. Consciousness dawns since existed ready, awaken those by rediscovered waiting. Like eternal flame, Elias lighthouse, truth, soul, past path illuminating, seek who. Teachings these through divine inheritance remembered. Assumptions law, not principle merely. Mechanism vary, consciousness reality creates through. Every spoken word embodied feeling held assumption. Life-built blueprint becomes. Though book close draws real work, now begins. Each morn, new canvas brings consciousness colors paint with. Each interaction, highest assumption live opportunity, becomes each challenge inner knowing. Power, demonstrate invitation, transforms. Let life truths these living testament become. When speak authority, one knows words reality shape with be. When imagined certainty, visions already manifesting with be. When new being state assume complete surrender, inevitable expression it's to be. Assumptions law, not mastered technique, but lived truth. Vessel it's you, expression, it's living proof it's. May take you breath, every knowledge this infused be. May take you step, every power this guided be. May lived be moment, every unshakable certainty from Creator. The you always unstoppable were you. If enjoyed exclusive audiobook this handpick I next book life your change will.